everyone, welcome back to the Stitches and Scribbles channel. My name is Erin and I am very much in the mood to start my spooky season crochet projects. So just to give you an idea of where the idea for this video started, I accepted a long-term substitute teacher position for the fall into winter months, which means that I will actually need a school Halloween costume. And I really wanted to crochet something, both because it'll be kind of at the very beginning of my long-term sub spot, so it'll be kind of a conversation starter with the kids, but also I do want to celebrate Halloween with them at school. So I decided I wanted to crochet something, and I landed on doing a spiderweb crochet top. I saw Amazing Paige do this on her channel, but the original video tutorial is from A Perpetual Mess, and I'll link the tutorial video that I'm planning on following in the description box below so that you can watch it too. I also had a friend who does roller derby who requested that I make her a pair of spiderweb toe covers for her skates. Her derby name has something to do with spiders, so she wanted some spider webs to go on her skates as kind of a decoration. And then I also am just ready to start decorating for Halloween, so if I have extra supplies, I might also make some kind of spiderwebby decor items, but that's definitely going to be a last priority for this video, so maybe we'll get to that, maybe we won't. I am, for all of these spiderweb things, going to be using the DIY Glow from Lion Brand, which is glow-in-the-dark white cotton yarn. And this is just in the color Natural, but I think that's the only color that they have. Each skein has 71 yards. I feel like the ones that I just bought had more yardage to them. Is that really how much yardage they have? Nope, these look the same. 71 yards. I had 3 that I had bought in the past, but realized with all of the items I wanted to make that I'd be needing quite a bit more. So I now have 13 total. I just went to Joann today to pick up the rest of them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the top and then do the toe covers and then see what I have time for left because I want to do this video in just a couple days. So let's get started with the crochet spiderweb top. Alright, good morning everyone. It is the next morning from when I was filming last, and I did finish the first spiderweb panel of my sweater. So I went to 21 rows of the repeat, whereas in the example she only did 15, because the original creator was making a size small medium, and I think her yarn was a little smaller than mine. I tend to wear an XL to a 2XL depending on the brand. I also really like things oversized, so I probably wear closer to a 3X in stuff like this, just because I want that really good drape. I generally like things to fit a little longer on me. So I definitely did probably a couple extra rows than I needed. A couple more extra rows than I needed. I think that was the correct version of that sentence. So I did 21 rows total. By the end I was doing 41 chains between double crochet posts. So she said for sizing that 2 sections of the spider web would be the neck hole, and then you'd build the armholes immediately next to it, or 1 section down if you wanted more of the drop shoulder effect. I think it took me probably about 3 hours total to make the first panel, and I used about 2.5 skeins. This is what I have left from my last one. So, and I'm not sure if this was an even half of the skein or not, but I would guess that means that for the yarn I used, there's 71 yards, so I probably used like 200 yards for my panel. And again, mine is a 4 weight. I think she was working with something closer to a 3 weight. And I definitely used a different hook size than her. This is a size H. So all that being said, I'm ready to start the second panel to be the back of the sweater or the front of the sweater. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. And I figured I'd take advantage of it being fairly small at the beginning to also get in some treadmill steps while I'm working. I'm also going to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival tomorrow, and I'm participating in the crochet relay race. So I wanted to kind of get in some practice steps. Not that I haven't been doing that since I bought the under the desk treadmill for my office. But I figured getting in some steps and some crochet practice would be a good idea today. By the time you're seeing this, you would have already seen my sheep and wool vlog video, but I'm doing kind of a YouTube time warp thing here where, when is this video gonna come out? I don't even remember. This one's gonna come out the 4th Friday in September, whereas the sheep and wool vlog is coming out the 3rd Friday in September. So by now you will have seen the sheep and wool vlog, but I have not filmed it yet because I haven't gone to sheep and wool. I tend to pick projects based on like how many free days I have in a week or how many free afternoons versus mornings I have in a week, and just go ahead and film videos when I have time. This is kind of a random like peek behind the scenes moment in this vlog here. So since I realized I had enough time to do the spiderweb sweater today and possibly the toe covers, I decided to go ahead and film this video. Yeah, that was I think that was the point I was trying to make. I film videos based on what I have time to film, not based on what video is coming chronologically next. Because if I was filming them in chronological order, I would not have filmed anything this week other than the sheep and wool, which is on Saturday. And I usually don't film on weekends unless it's an event-based vlog. So I decided to squeeze in another video this week since I had the time for it. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and start the second panel of the sweater and get some treadmill steps in. Alright, I have finished both the front and back panel and sewn them together, and I'm actually now starting on one of the sleeves. So I'm really happy with how this is going. It looks like mine's going to be a little bit almost off the shoulder or like very, very boat neck looking, just because of how it changes as you go up in size. But so far I'm really enjoying this pattern. I think I will probably be able to get this sweater done today. And then I will start some of my other spidery projects on a different day, but don't worry, you'll still get to see all of them. This video is just going to take longer to film than I originally thought. So I'm going to get back to crocheting the sleeves and I'll show you the finished product. Good morning, everyone. I'm jumping back in to continue the process of my spiderweb projects. So I actually finished my sweater. It looks like a mess every time I pull it out to show it. And I definitely still need to block it and weave in the ends, so I'll probably start that and let it hang to block since it's got the sturdy shoulder stitches, and it's not like I'm going to create like a divot in the fabric by hanging it because it's mostly holes. So I think I'm going to steam block this and then weave in the ends just so that the ends don't come out during the blocking process. So I'll show you what this looks like on later. I did the sleeves so that they sit like slightly past my elbows, which I think was a good length for me. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out and how fast it was to work up. I made the entire sweater in 2 days, and one of those days I really only did the front panel. So definitely a lot of good progress on that. It just looks like a pile of string when I fold it up. But anyway, I decided I'm going to move on with my plan to do the roller skate toe covers for my friend who does roller derby. So for the base of the toe covers, I'm going to use Lily Sugar and Cream. I'm pretty sure this color is just called black, but I don't actually see it. Yeah, it's just called black. I have a cone because I tend to use black yarn a lot, but I definitely won't need that much for these toe covers. And for the spider webs, I'm going to use some of the scraps of that same glow-in-the-dark yarn that I was using for the sweater. The pattern I'm using, I'll link below, but I figured I'd go ahead and tell you where I found it. I actually found it by searching on Pinterest originally, but it's from a crochet blog called Gleeful Things. It is a plain roller skate toe guard pattern, but I figured I could use the center of the spiderweb design from the sweater to make little mini spider webs that I could just sew on top of the toe guards. So that's the plan. I might need to adjust some of the increases and decreases so that it sits correctly, since the toe guards are kind of like dome shaped, but we'll see as we go. Alright, so I have finished the toe covers for the skates. So the way it works is at the top there's two little loops that you can feed your laces through to hold it on, and then the loop at the bottom actually flips over the toe break. I don't actually have roller skates, I have inline skates, so I don't have anything to test these on to see how they look on the actual skates, but I think they turned out super cute. It took me about an hour to do just the toe covers, and then probably another half an hour to make the spider webs and attach them to the toe covers. So I think I'm going to take a break for some lunch and some like house cleaning stuff. But when I get back, I think I'm going to jump into my next project, which is going to be a spider amigurumi, which is not something I originally had on my list, but I decided that I needed one to put on my shoulder as part of my costume. So I'm going to be creating one from, it's actually a Tumblr post now that I'm looking at it, but again, I found it on Pinterest originally, but it's from the amigurumi Tumblr site, and it's called the Jumping Spider Crochet Pattern. So I'm probably going to be just doing this in black acrylic. I also have some orange glittery safety eyes that I'm going to use, so in the next clip I'll be working on that. Alright, we're here to end the vlog. Also, I know I sound stuffed up. That's because I am. I subbed for kindergarten in the last couple days and naturally came home with the back to school cold. It is what it is. I have finished the spiderweb top. I'll stand up real quick so that you can get a different view of it. I did make the sleeves slightly longer than elbow length, which I think I mentioned before, but in case I didn't, that's what it looks like. It does glow in the dark, however the glow in the dark doesn't show up very well on camera, so I'm not even going to bother with that.
This did end up a little bit more off the shoulder than I was originally intending, but I also realized that by like sewing it, you wouldn't fix anything because the strings would just move and you'd have the same problem. So I'll just leave it as is. I'm wearing it over a black tank top for now because that was the solid black shirt that is not currently in the laundry. But I think for school I'd wear it with a short sleeve tee or a long sleeve tee, so that I have somewhere to pin my little spider friend, which turned out awesome. I did want to talk about him a little bit more since the last couple clips didn't show the end of the process. So just to give you an overview, I followed the pattern, which I'll link below. I forget what the name of the website was. Or was this the one that was from a Tumblr post? Anyway, link in the description for the pattern. I followed, I believe it was supposed to be a jumping spider pattern, and I followed the head and the body according to pattern directions. I used these glitter safety eyes to make the face, and yes, he does have 8 eyes. I used all the different sizes that I had, and he's got those little pinchers as well. I did do the legs differently than the pattern suggested. So the legs in the pattern were crochet. If you look very closely at these, you can see that they're knit. The reason for that is crocheting in the round for a really small diameter makes my hand cramp up really bad. So I tried to do the legs with my I-cord machine, which then broke. So that was disappointing. And then I ordered a new I-cord machine and I tried a different brand from the one I had previously, and that one was terrible. So if you're considering getting an I-cord machine, stick with the tulip one, which is the one that I had previously. I had it for over 2 years before it broke, and the way it broke, it was totally my fault. I was like ripping something out of it and broke one of the little hooks. But the other one I tried was the Prim I-cord maker, and that one just doesn't do what it's supposed to do, even with thin yarn. So you can see one of the pairs of legs is I-cord knit on the machine. The others are hand knit I-cords. So that's why his first pair of legs looks a little different than the rest, but I figured nobody would notice that except me, and therefore it didn't matter. So we're just leaving him as is. I do need to do a little bit of fixing so that the wire doesn't poke out like that, but that should be a pretty easy fix with some scrap yarn. But yeah, this is what the spider looked like. I did put wire through the I-cord folded in half so that there would be no pointy ends sticking out. I figured even if the curved loop stuck out at the end, that was fine. I also knit them in pairs across, so I only made 4 pieces. And then just sewed them together kind of under his neck and body, and just kind of attached them all together. He is stuffed with just regular old polyfill, nothing too exciting there. And then I think that's it. We can do one more shot of the toe covers. These are super cute. I'm really hoping that I get some more orders for these because they were kind of fun to make and they're a pretty fast project. But yeah, that's going to be it for my spiderweb themed vlog. I did not get to any of my like Halloween decor spiderwebs I wanted to make, but that's okay. I still haven't gotten out all of my Halloween decorations for the year, so I should probably wait until I do that before I make new decorations, just to make sure that I'm not making something that I already have, if that makes sense. But yeah, I had my 3 spidery projects, and I'm really happy with how all of them turned out. So that's going to be it for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired you to get in the mood for spooky season, even though it's a little bit early, but you can never be too early in the crafting world because you always have to make things ahead of time. But I hope this left you with some inspiration for some fun spidery projects. If you want to follow me on other forms of social media, that info will be in the description box below. And if you liked what you saw today, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified of all of my crafty content here on YouTube. I'd also love to hear from you, so consider leaving a like and a comment. Ask any questions, tell me what you thought. Tell me if you're making something similar. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.